describe the performance-related concerns that are being voiced by clients of alternative funds?
One of the main things that we're hearing from our end clients is about the fees and also about the timing of the data coming to the clients. In respect to the fees, historically the hedge funds have been about a 2% management fee, 20% incentive fee, and that's very expensive for the end clients. So there's been pressure in the industry to lower those fees, as well as there's been new products called liquid alternatives, which are similar to a 40 Act mutual fund, which don't have the 220 structure. We've also seen on the fund of funds hedge fund world, and that the additional layer of fees there is now not being included, or they're being lowered. So with that fee structure, it would be a 2 and 20 of each individual hedge fund, and then also a 1% and 10% incentive fee on top of the individual hedge funds. And that top layer of fees has either been reduced or eliminated altogether. The second big issue is really the timing of the data, in that a lot of the hedge fund information is provided to the asset managers either with a month delay or sometimes up to 3-month delay. So by the time you calculate performance and provide that to the end client, that's much longer than what they anticipated. So there's issues in getting the data and then providing it to the client. Those are really our two main issues currently with the alternative space.
So how should the performance measurement staffs at these alternative funds, how should they respond to these concerns?
One of the things that the performance group can do in respect to the data lag would be to get preliminary hedge fund or alternative returns, input that data into the account, build performance off the preliminary, and all the actual market information or marketable assets be current day, and then once the finalized hedge fund return comes in, update that information, rebuild the account, and send that out to the client. In respect to the fees, the way that the performance team can help in that, we're not really responsible for the fees, but we can provide performance data to the hedge fund analysts, to senior management of the firm to make decisions of how they want to modify those fees.
And what is the best way for performance measurement staffs to work with, as you mentioned, other groups within a firm to deal with these client concerns?
One of the first things that the performance measurement group should do is work very closely with the pricing group or the operations group at the firm to make sure that the hedge fund data is being inputted accurately in a timely method, especially when there is a preliminary version and then a final version, because you want to make sure that you are presenting the correct version of the data to the end client. And you also want to have a checks and balances in that to make sure that when it is final, all the appropriate disclosures are updated, all the returns are marked as quote-unquote final. The other group that the performance teams can work with would be the portfolio managers of the hedge fund by providing additional risk data, as well as the analysts looking at the other hedge funds in a fund-of-fund structure. We can provide them risk data, holdings data on the hedge funds, and also attribution on those as well to help them make more informed decisions.
Is it the case that performance management staffs are working with other groups much more frequently than they have in the past?
I'd have to say yes. The integration between performance measurement group as well as operations and the front office of analysts and portfolio managers, I think is becoming definitely closer. In history, performance would just calculate a return and send that to the portfolio manager or their client and not provide additional color on that, where I feel now performance measurement staffs have additional risk metrics, additional value-added information that can be provided to both the portfolio manager and the client in the presentations.